Good morning, class 12th commerce. This is your subject economics, chapter number 6, new economic policies, lecture number 5. Previously, we have discussed about liberalization, privatization, and what was the need to introduce NEP into our Indian economy. Today, we shall discuss about globalization, its features, its positive and negative impacts, and type of globalization. So, let's first begin with the concept. Definition. Is it an economic phenomena or is it a social phenomena? Or is it a cultural phenomena? And the answer is it's a mixture of all these three. The movement towards the expansion of economic and social ties between countries through the spread of corporate institutions and the capitalist philosophy that leads to the shrinking of the world in economic terms. Globalization may be defined as integration of economy of a so that means economy of one country is collaborating with the economies of all different countries. Fine. So, globalization is a process associated with increasing openness, growing economic interdependence, and deepening economic integration in the world economy. Our economic reforms aim at integrating the Indian economy with the world economy. Clear? So, here are some of the features of globalization. They are as follows. Number one, mutually reinforcing process of globalization and regionalization. That means different countries not only share the goods and services, but they also share a cordial relationship. They also share culture. They also share religion. Fine. Key role of global cities. If the country want to expand, if the country wants to play in the global market, so globalization plays a key role, important role of global cities. Multinational companies, control of employment, national exports, output, and technology investment. Increased mobility of capital and skilled labor. Multilateral, regional, and worldwide system of governance and regulation. That means WTO, World Trade Organization, gives the supervision, directs the trade when a country is dealing globally. Technology and the resultant speed and reach of cultural and social network. Definitely, culture and social network of different countries are integrated. As India, like India, in India, Western culture is followed. Why? Because we are dealing with the Western countries. Reconstitution of new transnational political economy through global migration. That means we have extended the political economy too. And asylum seekers and refugees are coming from the poor southern countries. You will find that in India many foreigners are working and many Indians are working in the different countries, because now there are no boundaries. There is complete freedom. Everybody is liberal. You can study anywhere. You can do the job anywhere. You can go for a trip or tour to any country. But certain regulations are applied that your country should have a cordial relation with that country. Your country should not have wartime situation with that country. For example, Pakistan. India will not allow you to visit Pakistan for tour purpose or for study purpose or for job purpose. There are very rare cases. Clear? So here we can sum up the definition of globalization, that it connects the economy of the countries. There was a time when most regions were economically self-sufficient. Locally produced foods, fuels, and raw materials were generally processed for local consumption. Trade between different regions was quite limited. Today, the economies of most countries are so interconnected that they form a part of a single interdependent global economy. One, on the other hand, every country requires the different type of goods and services. And for that, they need the help of different countries. One country may not be sufficient in one good, but the other country has abundant of that good. Fine. So this globalization has helped the countries to deal on one single platform. At the international level, it's a process of bringing the world economies economically and socially closer to each other in a manner such that each country becomes an element of global growth. Particularly, it is expected that capital and technology will flow from the developed countries of the world towards the developing country. That means India. Are you clear with this topic? Okay. Now, the impact of globalization. This is not given in your book, but for the sake of knowledge, you should know the impact of globalization. I have taken this slide from the site www.economicshelp.organization, and this is particularly relevant to understand the concept in more detail. Okay. First is increase trade. Globalization has increased trade. Now, greater availability of goods and services, greater choices of goods among the people, greater competition. There is more competition because domestic producers are competing with the foreign producers, foreign entrepreneurs. And it's not about the USA, but all the European countries, all the American countries, all are dealing among themselves. Okay? Then economies of scale. Economies of scale means more production. When this globalization was not there, you were just producing for your own country. Now, because of globalization, you have to increase your production. Because you have to produce for other countries also. Because they are investing in your country. Fine. You need to increase the foreign revenue. Increased capital and labor mobility. Now you can invest your capital, you can do FDI, FII, you can invest your capital in any part of the world. But there are certain rules and regulations. I'm again and again repeating that there are certain provisions, certain rules, certain laws for investing. But it's not that much complicated as it was earlier. Labor mobility. Laborers can move from one place to another place, and this we have studied in our 11th class also in the topic perfect competitive market. One of the feature, labor mobility. Tax avoidance is easier. Tax avoidance means you can show 100 of the proofs that these are the places where you are investing, and government provides a tax deduction. Structural unemployment from shifting sectors. That means we are more shifting to the technologies, and because of that there is unemployment but more production. We can say that there is a lopsided growth. That means one-sided growth. Monopoly power of multinationals. Monopoly power of multinational means that MNCs, more and more MNCs, if they'll come in India, they'll settle down here. That means कहीं ना कहीं दूसरी कंट्री की पावर हो जाएगी हमारी कंट्री पे, और हम अपनी कंट्री पे, हमारे जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं उनकी खुद की पावर अपनी कंट्री पे कम हो जाएगी. So see, these green outlined boxes show the positive impacts, where this pink outlined boxes shows the negative impacts. Positive impacts: increasing in trade, greater competition, economies of scale. Now types of globalization. अब globalization के भी types हैं. Economic globalization, social globalization, and political globalization. Economic globalization means countries that trade with many others and have few trade barriers are economically globalized. That means आराम से ट्रेड कर सकती हैं. ट्रेड के बैरियर्स मीन्स रुकावट, ट्रेड में रुकावट बहुत कम है. फाइन. सोशल बैरियर्स, a measure of how easily information and ideas pass between people in their own country and between different countries. Includes access to internet and social media network. That means how much we are connected socially through internet, through social media. Fine, best example is US. India has social globalization. In fact, it has economic and political too, but the best example is social. Because on internet or on the social media, there is a relationship between the prime ministers. They do, organize the meetings. They do meet on a specific interval. So there is a social relationship. Fine. Political globalization, the amount of political cooperation that exists between the countries, then you will say that it has political type of globalization. Do we have political type of globalization with Pakistan? No, it's not. Because India, Pakistan, they are completely on opposite sides. They are not the friend countries. They are enemy countries. So there is no political globalization. Fine. So types of globalization: economic, social, and political. political globalization. Economic, when the countries deal with each other with the less tariff barriers or trade barriers. Fine. Now, is there any link between globalizations and poverty? How are they related? See, various organized religions have been accused of contributing to generalized poverty by supporting government that favor the rich. Liberalization thoroughly says that you all are free to decide your prices. You are free to trade. You are free to set up the industries, except the 5 industries. So, it is an approach in Latin America which combines spiritually with the political activism to obtain better condition for the poor. And Gustavo has given a different approach to the liberalization. See, this particular slide is not in your book, neither in your syllabus, but for the sake of understanding the concept, you need to listen it. Fine. So it's not the hard and fast rule that you have to cram the name of the economist who is giving. No, it's not necessary that you have to learn what each and every economist says about the particular topic. You just need to understand what the concept is. Fine. So Gustavo has said that a liberalization theology's founder found that extensive poverty was caused by the structural factors such as lack of free education, little investment at home, by financial elites causing a lack of job, emphasis of the private profit motive over the general welfare. This means that how globalization causes poverty. Now, this particular slide I have taken from your book. See, you might not be having the book. So I have added this particular slide. So it's just the policy strategy promoting globalization of the Indian economy, right? So first point is increase in equity limit of the foreign investment. That means because of globalization, FDI and FII has increased. Fine. Equity limit of foreign capital investment has been raised from the initial 40%. It now ranges between 51 to 100%. Then partial convertibility. To achieve the objective of globalization, partial convertibility of Indian rupees has been allowed. Fine. Long-term trade policy. In conformity with the economic reforms, foreign trade policy is enforced for a longer duration, nearly 5 years. Reduction in tariff. In order to encourage competitiveness, tariff barriers have been withdrawn on most goods traded between India and the rest of the world. Withdrawal of quantitative restrictions. Since 2001, the quantitative restriction on all the import items have been totally withdrawn. This is in conformity with India's commitment to WTO. Are you clear with this? So, these are some of the policy strategy which promote the globalization of the Indian economy. That equity limit of foreign investment has increased, partial convertibility. Now Indian rupee can be converted into different currencies for the sale and purchase of goods. Long-term trade policy. Now you can invest, you can trade in other countries for a period of more than 5 years. longer duration. Then reduction in tariff, all the restriction, quantitative restrictions, tariff barriers, import duty are now decreased. Quantitative restrictions have been abolished. Since 2001, the quantitative restrictions on all the import items have been totally withdrawn. This is in conformity with the India's commitment to WTO. Why WTO? WTO is the supervisory authority, the World Trade Organization. It came in 1995. It creates a surveillance among all the trading activities between the different nations, and approx 180 countries are member of WTO, World Trade Organization. In the next lecture, we'll discuss with you WTO in detail. Fine. So now let's come to the conclusion of globalization. Globalization has increased the trade of products, ideas, technology, etc., and created the world without boundaries. But it had also some negative impact on the developing countries. Following with the globalization, India is shining in nearly every prospect. India is getting a global recognition and slowly moving towards to become a major economic and political strength. Though the development is progressing rapidly, still many problems like poverty, corruption, and political instability remain unsolved. See, in first point, it is written negative impact. Negative impact how? Tax avoidance, we discussed in the second or third slide. Impacts of globalization, the boxes in red, they showed the negative impact. Tax avoidance, more control of MNCs, structural unemployment. Fine. So these are the conclusion. Here we end our topic globalization. Thank you.